I'm Madeline Krekel, and this is my interpersonal communication managing a relationship PowerPoint project. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into it. I'd like to start off with the advertisement that I created. This advertisement is geared towards what a platonic friendship is. It goes over the key points of what it is, and I put a picture in there that kind of helps define what those key points are. If you're a person looking for a platonic friendship, this would be the place to go. On the agenda, I have the introduction, communication, evaluation, and a self-evaluation towards the end. So let's get to it. The introduction of Natalie Norris. She is the person I chose for this platonic relationship presentation. Natalie is a healthcare worker for 8 years now. She enjoys working the emergency department. She's lived in a variety of different states. She loves animals. We became friends back in Iowa when we were younger, and we've always had a strong friendship. And here are some photos of her and I. Natalie has met my expectations that are included in my ad. I believe this because we share a close friendship for as long as I can remember. We have deep emotional connections, and we're also good at being attuned to each other's emotions. The reason why Natalie is so special to me is because she knows my past, my present, and my future. We share a deep mutual bond for each other, and I also value our non-judgmental part of our friendship. That is very important to me. I just know I can go to her with the best or the worst news, and she'll always be there to listen. Our relationship began back in Iowa when we were younger. We grew up very close, almost together, and our friendship just stuck over the years. We went from playing toys together to school, and then we shared a love for softball, and now we share love for the work that we do. Next, I would like to go over communication competence. Here are some qualities of communication that we share. Listening, we always listen to each other, good, bad. We share feedback, and it's always honest. We respect what the other one says. It's always a eye contact kind of conversation when we have one. And we do have a lot of honesty between the both of us. One of the experiences that we experienced together was that we went to Canada and we saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers play. We got to go around Canada a little bit, view it, and then go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The next experience I'd like to share is we both work in the healthcare field. I got to experience taking care of people together with her, and we both loved that together. And it's an experience that I will always keep close to me. And lastly, another experience we shared together, I just happened to have a photo of. We were in North Carolina, and we were at a social event, and we'd happened to take a photo. We were having a great time, and I thought I'd like to share that with you. In our relationship, we share a few communication qualities. We work on valuing each other's opinions. We avoid interruptions. We're also good at receiving constructive feedback, even when it's hard to receive it. When a disagreement comes up, her and I solve it peacefully. And I'd like to evaluate our friendship. Natalie makes me a better person because I do not always see the bigger picture of things. I'm more of a direct person. She's very good at explaining the bigger picture to me. She's always truthful to me, and she brings things out that I hadn't seen. For our relationship, as it developed, some rules that we have, they're kind of unspoken rules. We tell stories, embarrassing or not. We take turns talking, we don't interrupt, and we know whatever is said is always a safe place between us to share it. As for the conflict, There was an experience that we shared. Natalie got married, and I got pushed to the back burner. I felt kind of left out, where I needed to learn that I wasn't the main character in her story anymore, and I needed to be okay with that. And now I am. And we both came together and we came up with a solution like we don't need to talk every day, but rather let's check in every now and then and keep updated on our life events. I do believe that when conflict comes about, it can make people uncomfortable when one person does not want to hurt the other person's feelings. Between Natalie and I, we have never been deceptive towards each other, and I don't think we ever will. As for our relationship, it has changed as we've changed. We have been from little girls to now in our mid 20s. We've had relationships as kids, through school, and now as adults. And our relationship has just developed as we've developed with the new topics that come off in our life. Now onto the self-evaluation. For a self-reflection, when I take a step back and evaluate myself, I often see that I do not use correct words to help me express what I am feeling at that time or moment. I take the verbiage that I hear throughout college and other people and apply it to when I'm communicating something and try and use new words. I tend to repeat myself. I sometimes feel like I need to reiterate things to make my point clear. Instead, what I should do is slow down when I'm talking and make sure people know that I am serious and it's a very important topic. Next up, there are many times when my active listening ears are shut off. This tends to happen when someone is explaining a story. I picture it in my head, but I can't keep up with what they're saying. Lastly, it comes to me not understanding something someone is trying to explain to me. I tend not to ask questions. For future use, I need to ask questions on things I am not clear on so I can give accurate feedback. Things that I've learned from this course and how they apply this knowledge to other life situations. I'd like to go over a few of these with you. When we took the personality test, I got to learn about who I am as a person. I also learned how I communicate and how I think. I took all that information and I applied it to my everyday life, especially in school. I'm scared to ask questions, so I reached out and asked people questions. I'm normally introverted, so I've been trying to become a little extroverted so that I am more involved in conversations and things. Next up, when we watched a video, there's a video about what's going on in a man's brain and what's going on in a woman's brain. And a man's brain moves a lot slower than a woman's brain. So he said. The man's brain has a nothing box, and a woman's brain is just thinking about 10 different things and how they connect and how she can fix them and what needs to be done, just basically ongoing. I need to learn that when my husband, to be more specific, is in his nothing box, to let him be there for a little bit and just decompress from the day. I need to respect that and learn when a good time to talk to him is. And lastly for this slide, identifying my audience when I speak is something that I have learned from this class. When talking to a teacher, I need to be more formal and present, and I need to communicate. And when I'm talking to another student in the class, it's more of a nonchalant conversation and it's very connected. For my last slide, I'd like to continue on the knowledge of another life situation that I can apply. In this class, I learned to become a better listener. For example, eliminating distractions, avoiding judgment, paraphrase and reflect. I can always apply this knowledge to multiple life situations. For example, when my husband communicates to me and I consider to limit my distractions around me and focus on him and what he is saying, that can go for any other relationship as well. Next, when it comes to helping someone understand what another is trying to say, throwing in prompting questions is a good way for someone to help the other person understand better what they are saying. Some questions that can be asked is when a teacher who is the main character in the story and the students reply with who it is. And another example we have seen firsthand is with the videos we watch in this class when the teacher puts questions throughout the videos to make sure we understand what's being said. And lastly, for this presentation, in the very start of this class, the most important topic that I never really thought of is why we communicate. It is something essential for survival. There's a lot of reasons why we communicate. It has developed who we are as people. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.